What's up? So, this is going to be a different kind of video, and it's something that, I quite frankly just want to talk about. So, over the past, I'm going to say about 8 months, um, I have been slowly playing Mass Effect. And, so, little backstory real quick. So last year, was it last year? I'm pretty sure it was last year. Um, I got a PlayStation 3 and have been expanding my gaming library pretty rapidly over the last year and a half. And I was looking for games to play, and I've heard a lot about this game, the Mass Effect series, and was like, I want to check this out. So, played through the first game, loved it, and I've played through the second game twice already. Mass Effect 2 is one of the best video games I have ever played, in my opinion. And then Mass Effect 3, which is a very good game as well. And the thing I like about Mass Effect is that the way the games are made, it's just different than a lot of gaming, currently. Because I like the fact that you can pick, a character, personality, who you want to be with in a relationship, story, narrative options, and all this stuff you get to do in this game, the RPG formula. But to me, it's on a much grander scale in the Mass Effect games. The characters are so well written. In the trilogy, anyways. I have Andromeda. I got it for nothing. I played through some of it. It's okay. Am I hardcore ever gonna play through the whole thing and beat it? I don't know. It's one of those games that I just bought it because it was Mass Effect and I wanted to really try it because I heard it sucked. Complete ass when it came out last 2017. So it's one of those games I picked up just for the fuck of it. I think I paid $10 for it, so it's whatever. But the trilogy, to me, is just so well written, and there's a lot of twists and turns that the first time you play through it, it's like holy shit moments. Whether it's things that characters do, whether it's things that happen in the plot that you don't see coming, like the beginning of Mass Effect 2. Let me put it to you like this. The ending of Mass Effect 1 and the beginning of Mass Effect 2 is some of the funnest gaming experiences I've ever had in the entire history that I've been playing video games, and that's counting Resident Evil, which I absolutely love, and all kinds of stuff. Mass Effect, to me, it's just gripping, and it's just... There's parts of these games that crush your soul. I don't know what it is. It's about it. It's just insane. But the thing I like about Mass Effect 1 so much is the customization, which they slowly strip out throughout the trilogy, which is the part I think sucks, actually. But they add a lot more characters and a lot more depth, so I think that makes up for it, in my opinion. I like the fact that the first game is really tight-knit. It's not as expanded as the other two. The characters are very, like I said, I love the characters in this game. All the voice acting is amazing. It's probably my favorite voice acting in a game. I don't know if there's any others that I like as much as Mass Effect. I like the story of the first game where you're not becoming a soldier or whatever backstory you pick. Become the Spectre, this all-powerful leader. Defeat the bad guy who's trying to, bring the Reapers and all that stuff. And then, the second game with the collectors and, them going after the humans to make, Reapers and all that craziness. And the fact that you die and then you slowly get to regain your crew and then pick up new characters. And that is, in my opinion, my favorite part of the series, is the ride that you get to take in Mass Effect 2, because the story is just so expanded through the loyalty missions you get with the new characters, getting the new characters, all of that stuff, the backstory to the new characters, the different races, the stuff that you do with, Jack, who's personally in my top 3 characters in the game besides the one that you play, whether it's the expanded stuff with Tally, which I love, the newer stuff with Liara, you get Garrus's, Archangel stuff, which is awesome, and then all the new characters, and some of them I've not really played a whole lot with, and I might, in future playthroughs, do stuff with Thane or Samara or stuff like that. But, as of right now, there's a core group of characters in this series that I absolutely are the favorite characters of the game. So, exploring newer characters through other playthroughs and stuff is what I would like to do. And, the ending of Mass Effect 2, which... here's the part of Mass Effect 2 that I didn't like when I first played through it. So it's not cut and dry, and thank God for the internet. Because the first time I played through it, everybody died, and I was pissed. And I didn't know that you had to do ship upgrades and stuff like that to get the ending to where everybody lives and stuff like that. So when I played through it the second time, I for damn sure made sure that I did it right. And the ending's really good. I really like the ending where, you beat the collectors, you're back on your ship, here come the Reapers, really big ending to the second game. And, the start of the third game, where the Reapers attack, and it's just in my opinion, and I don't know what it is with the third game. The third game is, in my opinion, one of the most controversial video games ever made. I like the third game a lot, and the third game's I think the third game is a hard game to replay because of how heavy it is. It's a very taxing game, especially if you're somebody like myself, as I would say most Mass Effect fans are. Is you're very attached to the characters when you get to the third game, I think. Especially, like, if you do Liara through all 3 games, that's the shit that it's rough, I think. Because there's some turns in the third game that I think that you don't see coming and stuff like that. Also, another thing that I didn't like about the third game, and I've seen people bring this up, is the fact that your crew is now shortened and you only get to play with, like, I think 4 characters. Is it 4 or 5 characters from the first 2 games? And they introduced 2 new characters that you could not give a flying fuck about, which I thought was just stupid. Why can't you just play with the characters that you play with in the second game? To me, it's really stupid. Granted, the cameos are awesome. That stuff's cool. But the fact that you only get to play with, I think, Liara, Garrus, Tally, and one other one. I can't remember who the other one is. But you get to play with Edie. Who gives a shit about Edie? I don't care. And then the 2 new characters, and that's all you get for a crew. And then you see all the other characters that you play with in the second game, but you don't get to actually, like, have them on the ship and that kind of stuff, which I think sucks. So there's that. And then the ending for the third game, which has been fixed, and I will say that the extended cut definitely helps if you are playing it for the first time. I remember when the game came out and the way the ending was done for the first part, like, no. But, I like the newer stuff they did for the ending, and the fact that in the best ending of the game, which is the destroy ending, where not everything is destroyed, Hackett says they're going to rebuild and stuff, and then at the very end, before it hits credits, you see your body with the N7 dog tag, and then you take a breath. And that part, when I first saw that, was one of the most, like, holy shit endings in gaming to me, because it made me want to play a 4th game. And what sucks is I don't think we're ever going to get a 4th game. I don't think they're ever going to make Mass Effect 4. I could be very wrong. I don't foresee it happening. I saw in the past, in the end of the summer, into the fall. I don't know if it's the lead of BioWare. But somebody from BioWare talking about Dragon Age, because I guess there's a new Dragon Age coming out. I have the first Dragon Age. Not really impressed with it yet. Maybe I need to play through it more. I haven't played a whole lot of it yet. But so far, it's not really gripping me like Mass Effect. Maybe it's because I'm more of a sci-fi guy. And not that I don't like stuff like Dragon Age. I do. I like knights and shit like that. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I played the Mass Effect trilogy and I'm really keen on that right now. So maybe eventually I'll get more into Dragon Age. But I think it sucks that it ended where it ended, and there's a lot of unanswered shit that after you play through all 3 games, which let's say you beat each game, they probably take about 20 hours to beat per game. So that's 60. I'll say you beat them all in 60 hours, which it might take longer than that, especially if you play everything. To have so much shit like hanging at the end of the 3rd game that you're just like, fuck, I want one more to just answer shit. I would rather just have a story-driven game to where you're helping rebuild the planet. Something like that, where Shepard comes back, you get to be with, Liara, whoever you were with in the game at the end, and you get to see the fallout from the Reaper attacks, and you get to, you're there rebuilding, and then, maybe something happens to where there's a new alien, just like, just a regular enemy, you know what I'm saying? So like something like the Collectors or something along them lines. Somebody that comes out through like a time warp or something. I don't fucking know. But and then as you guys are rebuilding the planet, you can there's another threat, but it's not as bad as the Reapers. You know what I'm saying? It's still a threat though. But at the end of that game, you can have the satisfying ending where everything is back to normalcy, the big hurrah ending. I've seen people say Star Wars type stuff. Something along those lines. I would have even been more satisfied with a darker game like Mass Effect, but at least at the end of the game, like, your crew and you are still intact. I think that the fact that they went so hard with the end of the game, to where it's just fucked, like, that's the part I couldn't stand. Now, granted, most of your crew still lives at the end of the game, or actually all of them do, especially for the most part. And, like I said, you see the scene where you take a breath at the end of the game. But it's just one of those things where, as a fan of the franchise like I am, it's so frustrating. And I just wish that they would have made something more for either another game or just an expanded story for after the game is over. So I don't know. But if you have never played Mass Effect, I highly recommend it. You can get them for nothing. I bought the trilogy for PlayStation 3 for I think 20 something bucks, and then I actually just bought them all for 360. I bought the Platinum Hits, which comes with the bonus disc for the first game, for $5 today. I bought the Collector's Edition for the second game, and I have the third game in a steelbook. So I highly recommend you play Mass Effect if you've never played them. You will get sucked the fuck in. Like, when I first started it, I'm like, oh, this is cool, and then halfway through the game, and then, oh my god, once you get, like, there's a point where it, like, hits, and you're, like, fucking all in, and it's like, you just get addicted. And like I said, I played the second game twice. So, that's how good of a game it is, in my opinion. So, I don't know. The Mass Effect trilogy, to me, it's one of the best gaming experiences you can even have, even with the end of 3. Because 3 is such a disappointment. Because, I don't know. To me, the game is just bleak as fuck. If you've never played the third game, like, it is just goddamn. And which, I guess that's the point of it. The point of Mass Effect 3 is to make it look as fucking dire as possible. So, there's a lot of heavy moments, and the story is very gripping. I mean, you will get sucked the fuck in. It's the most gripping story of a game, I've played in a long time. There's not too many other games out there that I love the characters as much as Mass Effect. So yeah. So I don't know, but just wanted to share my thoughts on Mass Effect, kind of talk about the trilogy a little bit. It's definitely one of the best gaming experiences I think you can ever have as a gamer. It's just, I don't know, the characters are so good. That's, to me, the part, more than the story, it's the fucking characters. Especially, again, I've talked about the second game so much, that's where they really shine. And the funny part is my favorite character in the series isn't really even in the game. Like, Liara is like maybe in 20% of the damn game because she's I can't remember what, my memory sucks. She's a leader on a planet. And then she confronts the Shadow Broker, which is a big thing in the first game. And then becomes the Shadow Broker, which I thought was really cool. But Liara's barely in the damn second game, which I thought was, and then she's obviously completely in the third game, which is like really awesome. But my favorite character in the series is her, and then Jack, and then Tali are probably in the top three. I don't know if that's in that order, but that's definitely my top three. And then the part I like about the second game is it expands more on Tali. So if you're a Tali fan like myself, you get more of her in the second game, and not so much of Liara, which I like. So, there's that, and I like that part. But I don't know. There's a lot of twists and turns in those games, and the characters are so good, and the interactions, and the dialogue, and the backstory, and the interactions you get to have, whether it's through female or male Shepard, whichever one you pick. I personally like female more because of the voice actress. Ashley Lawrence is fucking amazing. Like, just the way she does her lines is, especially the emotional scenes, are very haunting. They're very well done. I'm not such a big fan of the guy they got for the male Shepard because he has this monotone kind of thing in his voice. I'm not saying it's not good or anything. I mean, it's okay. But, like, if you're, like, a big voice actor fan like myself, it's fucking femship. All the way. I mean, the only part that sucks about playing as female is you don't get as many romance options, especially in the first game. And even the second game, too. But also at the same time, it's a yin and a yang kind of thing. So, I don't know. But I definitely like the female character more. I just... it's a lot cooler to play as her, I think. It's just a very well done story. I feel like it's a badass character as a whole, whether it's male or female, but I just feel like female Shepard. Because when I started playing the game, I looked at, some of the stuff that you get to do as her, and I'm like, oh man, fucking, I'm playing as that character. Like, you get to do, like, as a guy, I'm just gonna say, you can do lesbian fucking sex with a goddamn alien. Like, that was one of the cool parts, I thought, that, like, the game, like, you could just do that kind of stuff. You can do whatever the fuck you want, really. Mass Effect is just, it's up there, man. It's one of the best fucking gaming franchises ever, in my opinion. If you've never played it, you need to play it. Bar none. Well, also, another thing I want to talk about real quick is the soundtrack. Been listening to some of the stuff from the third game, and there's some really emotional music, especially, the leaving the planet music, and the end. The end song of the game is one of my favorite pieces of video game music ever made. It's very haunting. It's very well done. It's beautiful. Actually, it's very beautiful, in my opinion. It has this epic orchestral weight to it that really adds to the game. And I'm telling you what, man, when that fucking shit at the end of the game hits and that music kicks in, like, you're gonna, like, your emotions are gonna go through some shit. You're gonna do some flips in your body. You're gonna watch that screen and that shit hit the fan and your character go down and all this stuff blowing up and holy fuck and just shit going nuts, and, like, it's crazy. I think Mass Effect is one of the best online communities as well. The fan base is awesome. A lot of really cool, fan bases out there, whether it's fan pages or whatever. Just Mass Effect, it sucks it had to end the way it had to end because I think EA fucked it kind of towards the end. I feel like the first two games are very, very pure. They're very well made. Again, I'm not trying to dog the third game. The third game, it's up there. I mean, all three games are good in my opinion. I think all three games are great. If you want me to be really honest, I think I'm just more disappointed with how the third game didn't do more. It didn't satisfy you as a player because at the end it left so much shit unanswered that I don't know. It's just crazy. So yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna stop blabbling. But thank you all for watching. I don't know when I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw this up some point this weekend. But I love Mass Effect. It's awesome. Go play it if you haven't. It's you can get them. Like I said, you can buy the individual games for fucking a couple bucks. So and you can buy all three of them on PlayStation 3 as a trilogy. You can buy them individually. It doesn't matter. But definitely play them. They're awesome. I don't know what else to say. They're fucking awesome. So thank you all for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.